what's going on? I'm Matt, and this is Checkmatted. We're almost at 40 subs. We're growing like a plant, like a teenager, like a chia pet, like wings inside a cocoon, like a high tide caused by the moon. No, seriously. Go ahead and join the 36 of us and subscribe on this road to 100. In this game, I got a puzzle for you. From the position in the thumbnail, there's a mate in 7 if black is best responding. It's much faster if they don't. So stick around to see if you can solve it. Now, if you like the video, and if you don't, alright, let's get into it. I got the white pieces, and I play d4. Opponent responds with d5, and I play knight f3, knight f6, bishop g5, h6, asking me what I want to do with my bishop, and I trade it off, ruining the pawn structure in front of the king. Knight c3, c6, e3, bishop d6 developing, bishop d3, same idea. Then we have short castles, queen d2, preparing to long castle, bishop g4, now long castle. I don't care if he takes my knight, because I'd like to open up that file. Then we have b5, rook dg1, still saying, go ahead and take it. Rook e8, h3, asking him please take it. He does not. He goes bishop back to h5, so I push my pawn and he goes back to g6. Now I play knight h4, threatening the bishop. He trades them off and then plays a5. He's now making an attempt trying to get at my king. I play knight f5, threatening the bishop. It is protected. I think he would see it as threatening the bishop, but I have it there for a specific idea later. He plays a4. I play h4, now preparing an attack on the king. I'm saying I don't care about something like this, or even this, trying to break open my king side. I already have my rooks on this side. It's going to take at least a couple moves to get your pieces over there for it to be an attack to worry about. So I say, go ahead. Let me see what you got. He plays b4. So now he's threatening my knight. In this position, I'm like, all right, I could either move the knight, or I could start this idea of like giving a check in some way. I was thinking about something like this, opening this up, and then, but I didn't see how I could remove this pawn yet, because if I move this up, it just takes back, takes supported by the queen, and it's really hard to open up. So I go ahead and retreat. I go back to b1. I didn't go back to e2 just because I thought I would want an extra defender on both of these squares instead of just on c3. c5 by black, and then I play g5. Now I have some way of opening up this file. So after he plays c4, I don't want to move my queen off of this diagonal. So instead, I come up with a plan. I don't see it all right away, but I realize that if I take and he takes back, I now have another move to where I can give a check and not move the queen. Something like takes or takes, opening up a reveal on the king. And then maybe after that I can find a way to move my queen, maybe to this square after the knight's gone. So I play exactly that. I sacrifice my knight, and he says, okay, takes. And I'm still attacking your queen. And I say, okay. Takes on h6 with check. Can't take my queen just yet. So he plays king to h8, and now I move my queen to f5. He plays knight d7. I think the idea is adding another defender here. Maybe he wants to move the queen away. But at this point, there's mate in 7. So if you'd like to pause the video and find not only white's moves, but also the best responses for black in order to make it mate in 7, you can go ahead and try. Okay, congratulations to those of you who found it, and for those of you who just want to enjoy the show and watch this elegant checkmate, the move is g7. Right away I'm threatening checkmate on h7, so he has to play knight to f8, and then rook h to g1, And now the best response to black is to force the mate in 5 instead of something quicker, is to actually sacrifice the bishop on g3, and then after takes with the rook, you have to sacrifice your knight on g6. It is defended by the pawn. So can white take this? And the answer is yes. Because after takes, and let's say you take back with the pawn, and then take back with the queen, there's no stopping mate on h7. So after takes, the best move for black isn't to take on g6. Instead, it's to play a waiting move. The computer says a move like this. My opponent, something like this, trying to develop something here. Something like this doesn't even work. I'll show you why after. So the computer says to play a3, and then you sacrifice your rook on h7, and then after takes, you deliver check. He either can go to h8 or to h6. If he goes to capture material, it's just mate on h7. If instead he just goes back to h8, again, it's checkmate on h7. Some of you may be saying, why not just move your rook? It seems to attack some squares. You could just trade off everything. You have 3 defenders with the queen, the rook, and the king. So let's I play something like this. It doesn't help. It's the same idea. Takes, opponent has to take, and then after, you can't take back because it's a discount double check. Discount double check. So now again, the opponent has to either play king h8, which delivers checkmate, or he can go for the material, which also results in checkmate. You could also play rook to h7, delivering checkmate. All right, there's the video. In all seriousness, if you like what's going on here, the jokes I'm making, the games I'm showing, let me know. And if I'm delusional and all of the jokes and all of these games are just trash and you want something else, let me know. All right, have a good day.